Michelle Obama's office confirming to CNN tonight that she will skip Donald Trump's inauguration next Monday without explaining why she's going to be absent at an event that is traditionally attended by both former presidents and their spouses, notable exception from last year. This means the former First Lady will not come face-to-face with the president-elect. This also comes after she missed Jimmy Carter's state funeral here in Washington last week, where, as you can tell by the seating chart that you're looking at here, had she gone, she would have been sitting next to Trump himself.
Rumors are going around that Barack Obama and Michelle Obama are not in good terms. China in talks with Elon Musk regarding the sale of TikTok, and Senator Chuck Schumer has been exposed to have advised Democrats to pressure Trump's cabinet nominees. Now, I've got all of that and a lot more, but let's go ahead and start with Senator Chuck Schumer's instructions to give Trump nominees a hard time. And guys, I just want to thank y'all so much for sharing these videos. You guys totally help me out when you do that. Thanks so much for hitting the like button. Let's get started.
Why do you want to do this job? What drives you?
You have 30 seconds.
Because I love my country, Senator, and I've dedicated my life to the warfighters. People see me as someone who hosts a morning show on television. But people that really know me know where my heart's at. It's with the guys in this audience who've had my back, and I've had theirs. We've been in some of the darkest and most difficult places you can ever be in. You come back a different person. And only by the grace of God am I here before you today. I'm doing this job for them. For all of them.
Pete Hegseth got grilled at his confirmation hearing, with many Democrats seemingly attacking him for any reason that they can think of. And it turns out that this wasn't by chance at all. In fact, it comes out after Senator Chuck Schumer ordered these Democrats to give Pete Hegseth a hard time.
Your colleague, Chuck Schumer, has a plan, and this is what Axios has learned. He said Republicans spent 4 years attacking the Democratic brand, and we need to use the hearing to begin to return the favor. Schumer told Democrats in a private meeting early January. So again, this is about retribution. This is not about, is he qualified for the job?
Yeah, it's shameful. I mean, this is the most important cabinet secretary that President Trump will have on his team at the Department of Defense to make our military lethal again, to get our military back focused on what it has to be focused on. This is a dangerous time in American history, and Pete Hegseth is going to get the military back. Instead of focusing on all the woke political crap that the Biden administration and Lloyd Austin and all of these, the clown show at the Pentagon over the last 4 years, they were more focused on wokeness than readiness. And right now we have a significant recruitment crisis because of it. The Army decreased their standards. The Navy is way off of their recruitment targets, and a lot of it has to do with wokeness, but a lot of it has to do with what happened in Afghanistan too. And we can't forget that. We need someone like Pete to clean up the mess. Make the military strong again, fix those issues. He's the guy for the job.
It's safe to assume that these Democrats are doing this out of spite of President Trump. And it's something that we're going to see a lot more for the next 4 years. Not surprising to hear that Chuck Schumer would scheme things behind everybody's back in order to try and sabotage Hegseth. But unluckily for them, he proved himself to be fit for office, even embarrassing some senators as they fell on their own feet. Now, I want you guys to compare this to the last 4 years that we've had with President Biden. Democrats followed his lead and even agreed to keep our border open. But even with that, reports are showing that the president used programs to fly in illegal immigrants that were not vetted.
CBP releasing the final border numbers under President Biden shows nearly 1.5 million migrants entered the U.S. through controversial programs like the CBP One app and migrant flights, all since just 2023. Both of which Trump pledges to end on day one in office. His nominee for DHS Secretary, Kristi Noem, won't have her confirmation hearing until Friday, but she is already speaking out on the consequences of an open border.
The situation at our southern border is nothing short of an invasion. And over the last 4 years, America's border security has been purposely weakened and ignored. Our laws have not been enforced, and this has led to millions and millions of law enforcement encounters with illegal aliens.
Former acting DHS Secretary and Executive Director at the America First Policy Institute, Chad Wolf, joins us now. Chad, good morning to you. So a lot of people led into this country under Joe Biden. Now it's going to be Donald Trump, Kristi Noem, and Tom Homan's job to get them all out. But that 1.5 million people led in by the CBP-1 app and these migrant flights. When you hear a number like that, what goes through your mind from a national security standpoint?
Yeah, absolutely, because we know that some of those individuals in those two programs weren't properly vetted. And we know that because the DHS Inspector General has issued several reports along that line. But I think it's an important point where the Biden administration continues to talk about how they have lower apprehension numbers along that border. But what we know is they simply stopped counting them the way that they've always been counted, because they created these two programs, the CBP-1 app and then that parole program, where they're allowing individuals to come in every month, upwards to 70 to 80,000 individuals every month under those two programs that would otherwise be trying to come in illegally. So the flow along that border has not really subsided, has not slowed down all that much. The Biden team has just simply decided to count them differently.
We all had an idea that the Biden administration was trying to set up Trump for failure. And now we have definitive proof that the number of illegal immigrants coming into the country have not exactly gone down. They just funneled them through these other programs. So I guess you could say that these conspiracy theories didn't take that long to be proven as true. Former First Lady Michelle Obama continues to dodge Trump as she's not attending his inauguration. Now, you guys might remember that she also didn't attend Jimmy Carter's funeral due to what they called as a scheduling conflict or a scheduling issue. Y'all remember that, right? Commentators on CNN feel that this move is petty, while others are saying that there's a deeper reason that many of us are not aware of. Check this out.
Michelle Obama not going high. She's done.
You know, it's an insult to the office of the presidency. It doesn't matter who's the president. This is a tradition that's been around for over 100 years. You shouldn't do this.
Tell that to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who Donald Trump or who isn't. It's the president of the United States.
No.
He didn't show up.
I'm saying he didn't show up at all.
I don't.
And he was actually.
I don't agree with that
First
either.
Lady,
you should always show for the office.
8 years ago.
Doesn't matter. Then you should say Donald should have shown. Everybody should show up for funerals and for inaugurations. Period.
I don't really care whether she's there all that much. I mean, she can make her travel decisions. I do think this is part of a pattern of these little petty snubs. This is one. Kamala Harris won't invite J.D. Vance's wife and kids over to the Naval Observatory, where she's moving children into. They'd never been in it before. A clear sort of petty snub. Then when she tweeted out the picture of the Carter funeral, she clearly cropped out Trump out of the picture.
And this is the issue with some of these Democrats. Now, I guess you could say that they're passive aggressive because, as you've seen with President Trump, he can differentiate between the person and politics. However, some of these top Democrats, they really just hate Trump with a passion. But there's another reason as to why Michelle won't be there. There are verified rumors that are going around that she and Barack Obama, they're on the outs. In fact, they're preparing for a divorce. I'm not sure if it's a misunderstanding or possibly something worse, although we haven't seen any news of divorce or anything like that just yet that confirms it. Many small businesses and influencers are worried about the possible ban of TikTok. It's obviously helped a lot of Americans extend their reach to customers and followers alike. Liberals, though, are worried because China seems to have a backup plan for the platform, with one billionaire on their mind to possibly buy it. And of course, there are those who think that this is just a bad idea since they believe that the app is being used by China to spy on Americans.
China is engaged in an ongoing and unrelenting effort to hack the United States. And now they've got a surveillance tool in everybody's pocket. The software doesn't just have funny videos. It also collects everywhere you go, everybody you talk to, everybody you work with.
TikTok denies they share data with the Chinese government, but now new names are surfacing as potential buyers for the platform.
Let's go, Elon.
Including Elon Musk, who owns X and is a close advisor to President-elect Trump, who now supports saving the app. Both Bloomberg and the Wall Street Journal, citing people familiar with discussions, say Chinese officials are weighing an option to allow Musk to take control.
I think the worst thing that could happen to TikTok besides getting shut down is Elon buying it.
Musk, who famously bought Twitter after joking about it, has said nothing, and TikTok calls the suggestion pure fiction. Former Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin previously launched an effort to buy it, and Shark Tank star Kevin O'Leary says he and other investors are also making a play.
President-elect Donald Trump has a soft spot for TikTok as he believes that it helped him immensely during last year's election. Now, I'm expecting that the ban will probably just be paused so that a different plan can be made in order to keep the platform alive here in our country. But if I was to ask you, do you even care if the social media platform is banned here or not? Related to possible attacks on the nation, I did a previous live stream where I discussed possible attacks to our critical infrastructure, with the FBI warning that things will only get worse once Trump gets back as president. Make sure you guys check that video out right after this one. As always, appreciate you guys hitting the like button. Thank you so much for sharing this video, and we'll see you guys next time.